You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. She cannot help herself but steal ideas. The recent woes for Harry's wife in relation to Spotify and the possibility of losing Netflix has thrown into sharp relief the problem that Harry's wife has. She's dull, uninteresting, devoid of ideas, bereft of original thought, but also evidences the fact that she purloins the ideas of other people. I've explained in separate videos that as a narcissist she does this quite readily because of character trait acquisition. Some narcissists have excellent imaginations, the ability cognitively to conjure up worlds, plots, devices. They will use, of course, experiences that they've had themselves, but manipulate those experiences, embellish them, add to them, change them in particular ways to create fascinating works, stories, television programs, films, and so forth. They are capable of envisaging a particular plotline, story, whatever it might be. Harry's wife doesn't have that about her. There simply is this. A howling wilderness of nothingness. Accordingly, when she's called upon to provide something, her narcissism simply goes and steals it. Whether it's somebody else's recollection or anecdote, somebody else's quotation, somebody else's plotline, then she just purloins it. She doesn't actually think to herself, I know this isn't mine, but I'll nick it anyway. She just doesn't even contemplate that what she's doing is inappropriate. Her narcissism actually makes her believe that it's her own idea. It causes her to scour the internet looking for those ideas, and then she sees one and thinks, I'll use that. It doesn't enter her head that she's taking something that's been done before, that's something that somebody else probably has copyright in. No, her narcissism just causes her to take it. And if anyone were to challenge her at a later juncture to say, Oi, you've nicked my idea, she will say, no, it was my idea. And she will say that with a straight face. Why? Because the narcissism will revise the history to nullify the threat to control posed by this person claiming that she's ripped off their idea. Well, her narcissism may well be having to deploy that revision of history again because GB News reports Harry's wife and Prince Harry accused of ripping off idea for new Netflix project. Svar Nanan Sen writes, Harry's wife and Prince Harry have been accused of ripping off their latest idea for a Netflix project. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are working on a new project for Netflix titled Bad Manners. The couple are looking to bounce back after Spotify dropped them earlier this month. The Sussexes are working on a new show inspired by Charles Dickens's Great Expectations. Harry and Harry's wife are developing the show based on a feminist version of Miss Havisham from Dickens' famous novel, according to the Wall Street Journal. However, the Sussex's feminist prequel is almost identical to an adaptation made a decade ago, it has been claimed. Several adaptations have already focused on Miss Havisham's character. Most recently, award-winning actress Olivia Colman played Miss Havisham in a 2023 series. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams issued a damning assessment of the couple's mooted next move with Netflix. Fitzwilliams said it's one thing for Harry's wife to narrate Elephant for Disney, but another to take on Dickens. He also added, Harry's wife's animated series Pearl was cancelled by Netflix and Spotify were far from pleased with archetypes. Harry's documentary, Heart of Invictus, is reportedly due out soon, but it's reasonable to ask, why have they done so little despite their high profile and expectations that their brand would have huge international appeal? Harry's judgment about what to include in his memoir Spare was badly flawed too. He told the Mail Online, surely Harry's wife's new agent is able to arrange more work for them. Hollywood dislikes failure. Many are asking how talented they really are. I doubt that many are actually asking that because they'll be very simply able to come to a swift conclusion that they don't have any talent whatsoever. But you see that once again, the press are quick to identify that Harry's wife looks to be taking somebody else's material and utilising it as if it was her own original idea. She just can't help herself. She's like a kleptomaniac that walks in a department store and then when she walks out, she happens to have somehow acquired a new jumper, a set of new makeup, and a pair of shoes. Oh, how did those appear? She wonders. The necessity that she has to pursue the prime aims means that as a part of doing that, her narcissism needs to cause her to generate things of interest. Whether it's in the context of a conversation with somebody or whether it's content to be created for a television series, she needs to be able to generate these things. But the problem that she has is that, one, she's not imaginative, two, she's not actually interested in other people. And that's why with many of her experiences, they don't actually have a lasting impact upon her because they're just so superficial. You will remember many things that have happened to you, and they may still resonate with you emotionally. You may, for instance, recall something that happened to you when you're younger, and it still causes you to cry. You might remember a very happy occasion, and it brings tears of joy to your eyes, even years later. You remember that first win at something, and it makes you feel that swelling of pride. But Harry's wife doesn't have that, because everything that she engages with is done in pursuit of the prime aims, rather than there being any attachment with it. She, as a narcissist, attaches people to her. She does not become attached to them. She has no emotional investment in individuals, unlike you do. And therefore, while she will, of course, have memories, they are wafer thin, as Mr. Creosote might say. They are tissue thin. And the consequence of that is that they could just blow away on the wind, that they could just disappear. And therefore, rather than try and delve into the past of her own experiences in a meaningful fashion, it's far easier for her narcissism just to think, I'll take that one. I'll take that person's recollection that was said to me yesterday, or I'll take that person's achievement that I read about this morning and pass it off as her own. She can't help herself, but through character trait acquisition, have to take aspects of other people and then use it in order to control and draw fuel and gain residual benefits. And GB News has identified that because of the dearth of talent and ability, she has to do it again and again and again when it comes to content creation. And now the pressure is on. The requirement for decent content is a threat to her control, which she needs to nullify. And it impacts upon a residual benefit. Her narcissism has to do something. And what it has done, rather than cause her to come up with something by dint of hard work and imagination, has just caused her to use something that has been done before and make it seem like she has come up with the idea. It isn't to excuse her behaviour to say she cannot help herself, but rather to explain that simply this is what she does. She drifts through life with no original thoughts, no ability, no interest in other people, just sucking in the experiences, achievements, and anecdotes of other people, the work of other people, the abilities of other people, and regurgitates it, passing it off as her own. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.